My journey began in Helsingborg, my hometown in the south of Sweden. I followed the Swedish west coast, passing through the city of Gothenburg, and finally crossing into Norway after many hours on the highway. The road was long, but Norway welcomed me with clear blue skies. My excitement carried me forward. I had been dreaming of this country for so long that even the dull highway felt like a path towards something greater. After driving 600 kilometers on the highway, I arrived in Oslo. I spent 2 nights there with a friend, and together we drove along the southeast coast of Norway, stopping in small coastal towns by the ocean. It was a great way to get back some energy after many hours on the highway. The next morning, leaving Oslo felt like the true beginning of this adventure, and my first goal was simple: to find a map of Norway.
But good news is that I found a map of the whole of Norway. Even though I didn't need the whole of Norway, I thought this map was the best, like size-wise. And it cost almost 400 Norwegian kroner, which is insane, but it's Norway. I'm getting used to the prices.
From there, I rode north. The road was winding through the dense forests, with the silhouettes of mountains slowly appearing in the distance. I stopped for lunch by Randsfjorden, where the sky painted itself in the still, mirrored water. This trip was meant to be different. Normally, I'm someone who likes to have everything planned out, routes and stops. But this time I wanted freedom. I wanted to take each day as it came, to let curiosity guide me instead of a schedule. And that decision would lead me to some of the most breathtaking views I've ever seen.
This is seriously an insane view. Oh my gosh. And this is where I'm going to turn. Oh, and it's a gravel road. Okay. Wow. Wow, this looks incredible. Oh my gosh, sheep! Look, it's a baby!
Heading west, the landscape began to change. Entering Jotunheimen National Park was like crossing into another world. The tundra stretched out wide, and the mountains were dotted with patches of snow. Towering peaks pierced the horizon, and the cold wind found its way through my jacket, reminding me that I was finally in the mountains. I didn't want to admit it then, but at that moment I felt uneasy. That night would be my first night alone in the wilderness, and I had never wild camped before. After finding a camp spot by some abandoned camper vans, the first thing I did was drop my bike by slipping on the wet grass as I parked, but luckily managed to get it back up. Now let's see if I can manage to put this tent up. So before and after tent is set up. I fumbled with my tent and learned how to cook in the open air. All of it was new. And then came the silence, the realization of being alone with no one around for miles. It wasn't just about the camping or the bike. It was the realization that I was truly on my own and that this was only the beginning. Leaving this beautiful place now, and we are headed
to somewhere really exciting today. Actually, two really exciting places. So let's go. Without falling this time.
On Google Maps, I had spotted a viewpoint not far from where I camped, and I couldn't resist the temptation to see it. The road to Blåhøe was rough, 20 kilometers of loose gravel, climbing steeply towards the sky. With my bike loaded heavy with gear, every turn felt like a lesson in control. My body was tense, and I was still adjusting to the weight. When I finally reached the top, the struggle was worth it. The view left me breathless. A vast, endless panorama of mountains and valleys. Riding back down, I struggled as well, but the scenery unfolded before me and I continued to be blown away.
Driving this downhill on gravel roads, oh my gosh. Driving downhill is way worse than driving uphill. Oh my god. But it's okay, I can do it. I can do it. If I just tell myself I can do it. At least the views will be like crazy. It's incredible just how far you can see and like the different kinds of mountains and landscapes.
I continued along the E6, eventually reaching Dombås, where I stopped for lunch and treated myself to an ice cream. I didn't know it yet, but that pause was exactly what I needed. The road ahead was about to challenge me more than I could have imagined. From there, I followed the E136 into Romsdalen, which quickly became one of the most breathtaking roads I've ever ridden. Sheer peaks towered on either side of me, while a turquoise river ran alongside me, sparkling in the sun. I passed Trollstigen, the legendary troll wall, and briefly stopped at a massive troll statue before continuing to the famous Trollstigen.
Trollstigen is basically just a road that has many of these turns. Like 180 degrees turn. Can you see the line of cars? I don't think you can see it on camera, but there's just a huge line of cars all along. Damn. I wonder if people are just, maybe, no, it looks like they're just stopping. Hopefully.
I expected traffic, but not this. Cars, buses, and camper vans clogged the serpentine road, and for nearly an hour I inched upwards, sweating under my helmet and jacket. By the time I reached the top, I was desperate to breathe freely, so I parked my bike, peeled off my gear, and hiked up to Lookout Point, above the crowds.
I decided to hike up to, just some rocks over the road, and I don't think I'm gonna drive it back down, even though that's the way I want to go, and the other way would be like a very big, like wrong way, if that makes sense. So I think I might find a camping spot close to here, and then early tomorrow morning I'll drive this road back down and go towards the next stop that I want to go to. So it's okay, but I feel like I needed a mental break and I need to recover from that road, honestly. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna sit here and just relax and enjoy the view.
From up there, the view was spectacular. Behind me stretched Romsdalen, carved deep between the mountains, and I had a clear view of the twisting road that I just conquered. Tiny vehicles were still crawling upwards in traffic. It was a view that captured both the beauty and chaos of travel. Exhaustion finally caught up with me, and I knew I needed rest. Not far from Trollstigen, I found a campsite tucked into the valley. Unlike the previous night, I wasn't alone this time. Other travelers were scattered around me on motorcycles and in camper vans. The presence of others felt comforting, a small reassurance after such a long, demanding day. Good morning. Just packed all my things and yeah, now we're ready to go. Today the plan is the Atlantic Ocean Road, and then we'll see from there. I left the campsite that morning with Mick, a German rider I had met the night before. We shared the same goal, to reach the Atlantic Ocean Road, one of Norway's most famous roads across the islands of West Norway. The drive down Trollstigen was free of traffic and much more pleasant today. The sun was shining again, casting a golden glow over the mountains and valleys. It felt like the perfect riding weather. Today I would take my first ferry of the trip, a common way of transportation across the islands of West Norway. Thank you. Tack. I guess we go to the front with other motorcyclists. Along the way, we weren't alone. Dozens of motorcycles streamed in the same direction, all drawn to the legendary Atlantic Ocean Road. But yeah, there's a lot of motorcycles here, and I see people from Switzerland, Italy. I even saw a motorcycle from Ukraine, and LT, is that Latvia or Lithuania maybe? But yeah, from all over Europe, which is very cool to see. I wonder if they're like a group or if they're all individual riders. From there, the landscape began to open up. The Atlantic Ocean Road unfolded ahead of us, a twisting road across tiny islands, leaping from bridge to bridge, with the still blue ocean surrounding us. Riding there was surreal, like floating between sky and water. This place was truly magical. After the exhilaration of the ocean road, we continued westward. The route led us through quiet forests and onto more ferries that would lead us to our next destination. Eventually, we made it to Ålesund, a small fishing town built on islands with its own unique charm.
And that looks like a really old building. Look at the trolls. The souvenir trolls. So Norwegian.
Just outside the town, we found a campsite where we set up for the night. It was the perfect way to end another unforgettable day, riding in the sun and sharing a road with a new friend. This day I set out alone. The sun was shining once again, and I was happy, unaware of what was to come later that day.
We're already back driving in the mountains. You can see in the distance all the white tops. I feel like when they have snow on them, that's when they're real mountains. Otherwise, they're more like hills. There's a whole group of motorcycles from all kinds of different countries. Oh look, there's a motorcyclist with a little dog in the back.
My route led me back into the mountains and deep into the fjords. My first stop was Geiranger, where a massive cruise ship loomed in the harbor, dwarfing the tiny town and filling the valley with tourists. So I just parked my bike right in front of the cruise ship. It's such a beautiful little town. There's a lot of tourist places here, like you can buy souvenirs and stuff, but I'm just gonna get some lunch and then we'll be on our way again. This is kind of like Trollstigen. When I drove there, at least it's not like that warm, and there's shade, and it doesn't seem to be that bad. From there I climbed higher, following the twisting road and stopping for lunch at a lookout point where I could see a waterfall plunging into the valley below, with snow-capped mountains stretching endlessly into the distance. I wanted to go a bit further originally, but I just couldn't help myself by stopping at this place. Like, look at those houses over there in the distance. They have like grass on their roof and they're really old, and then this waterfall is just, oh, it looks so nice. So I think I'm gonna have lunch here, even though it's a bit crowded. Studying my map, I noticed a road that immediately caught my eye, Gamle strynefjellsvejen, an old mountain pass winding high above the valleys at more than 1,000 meters above sea level. I couldn't resist. It was a gravel road, rough and narrow, and I wasn't alone. Camper vans and cars towing trailers crawled their way along it, and it didn't take long before things went wrong. On the loose gravel, I drove too fast and my bike slipped out from under me, and I fell. I wasn't hurt, but it rattled me. Luckily, I wasn't alone and got help from two strangers who helped me pick up my bike.
Du kan få lyfta så här, and I'll lift in the middle, like this. Because... Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Varsågod. Tack. That doesn't sound good. Okay. Well, well, there was a very nice lady and man who helped me with that. I have to say, this is a very scenic road, but it is a little scary to drive because it's small and it just like drops like right down on either side.
For the rest of the time I spent on this road, I took it easy, enjoying the beautiful landscape around me, but barely 10 minutes later, I found myself in a similar situation.
Like this Chinese couple, like just drove into me. So this is from your car?
Yes. While making a right turn, our car drove straight into my side. Somehow both the bike and I were fine, but I felt defeated, drained, and embarrassed to admit that I almost cried there on that road. The car that I crashed with was driven by some Chinese tourists. I was pretty stressed in this moment, but I can only imagine what they felt as my bike had torn off several pieces of plastic from their car.
Ja, men tack så mycket. Tack. Where are you from?
China.
你们是中国人?
Yeah.
我可以说一点点中文。So, but we take English, please.
After exchanging contact info, I was soon on the road again.
I mean, 2 crashes within 10 minutes. Yeah, let's, I just feel like getting off this road now. And then I'm definitely taking a break. Yeah. But there's this really nice Norwegian lady who just like helped me and just like calmed me down. And she made me feel a lot better, so I'm very thankful for her. So thank you, Norwegian lady. So yeah, I'm only driving 30 kilometers per hour from now on. Whew. Yeah. Like I told the lady, I was like, it is not my day today, apparently. Or it's just like that, this is not my road.
The views were spectacular, and I could see deep into the valley, and snow-capped mountains filled the horizon. Eventually, I descended into the town of Stryn, where a serpentine river wound its way through the town, turquoise and clear. I followed the fjord west, and the water was glowing the same bright shade of blue-green, and I sought for some ice cream before calling it a day.
I'd like to get a spot near the water. That would be really cool.
By evening, I reached Aurland and found a campsite by the water. I set up my tent with the quiet plan of an early hike the following morning, hoping the next day would bring a calmer rhythm after the challenges I faced today. This morning, I wasn't woken up by the sun, as I was on the other days. Down in the valley, the sunrise barely reached across the distant mountains. After so many days of riding, I felt the urge to slow down, to stretch my legs on a hike. Just nearby was a trail leading up to Klovane, a small mountain rising 982 meters above sea level. Only 3 kilometers to the top. Short and simple, I thought, but it revealed itself to be a real challenge. The path was steep and rocky, weaving through tangled trees and thick bushes.
So climbed 2.5 kilometers and 719 meters ascent. This is kind of what the terrain looks like. And then this uphill. It doesn't even feel like a path. And sometimes there's ropes to help you climb up. Yeah, but I don't think it's the tallest mountain over there. I think it's the smaller one.
The higher I climbed, the warmer the air grew. And then the summit. A breathtaking panorama opened itself before me. Turquoise lakes shimmering below and snow-capped peaks scattered along the horizon. The view was magical, and the weather could not have been more perfect to take it all in. After the descent, I paused for a simple lunch and a quick swim in the freezing glacier water. Soon I was back on my bike, heading south, with waterfalls tumbling beside me and distant glaciers catching my eye. Oh my god, it's not moving. Oh my god. I hope it says hello to me. Hello! Oi! No, I'm not gonna disturb it. That's so funny. They're just chilling. Got that mountain in the middle. It's just like standing all by itself. Then, unexpectedly, I arrived at another astonishing lookout point. So we're there in 200 meters and I'm excited to... Wow. Okay, I did not expect that. Clouds mirrored in the mountains, and a winding ribbon of roads carved its way down the pass. The evening was right around the corner, so I drove into Dogsvik camping. I cooked dinner, picked wild blueberries, and let the quiet of Sognefjellet sink in. This has easily become my favorite camp spot so far, and that's because there are raspberries and blueberries that I can just pick right next to me. Today was the day I have been waiting for, the ride across the famous FV55 road into Sognefjellet, winding through one of Norway's most dramatic mountain ranges. Along the way, it cuts straight through Jotunheimen National Park, home to the country's tallest peaks, including Galdhøpiggen.
What a beautiful fjord.
The morning began with a ferry across the deep waters of Sognefjorden. From there, I followed its coastline northeast, climbing steadily in elevation. But on the way to Sognefjellet, I first had to make a stop at a hidden gem, a place not many know about.
So there have been several of these tunnels that have completely no light, and they are so creepy to drive in. Just like, it just feels uncomfortable. Like with the walls. Finally, the lights. Oof. This area is farmland, so there are animals. I've seen cows and now sheep who don't want to move. Sorry. This is the biggest hack, having slippers just ready to use, ready to go, just like that, so I don't have to wear these pants or these shoes because they get so hot.
There's snow all around me. I think we're like at 1,400 meters in elevation now. Look at all the snow. Soon I reached a viewpoint, my first glimpse of the mountains ahead.
So this place is pretty cool. Basically that thing with the glass is that you can see like which mountain is which mountain and how tall they are, and by moving that sliding glass thing you could see which mountain it was. And the tallest mountain on that thing that you could see from here was 2,400 meters. And right now we are at 1,100 meters.
Peaks towering more than 2,000 meters rose in the distance. The higher I rode, the stronger the wind grew, and the colder the air felt against my skin. It was wild, like riding across another planet. I mean, I want to film everything because it's just so incredible. Like all around me. But it is very windy up here. Eventually the road carried me down into the green valley, but I had one more goal before the day was over: to reach the base of Galdhøpiggen, Norway's tallest mountain, rising 2,469 meters. The road up was steep and narrow, demanding focus with every turn. At last, I reached 1,840 meters, the highest I had ever been in Norway. From here, hikers set off to the summit. I wandered around, watching tiny silhouettes in the distance, making their way down the peak. One day, I promised myself I'd come back here and climb it too. The view stretched endlessly from up here. It was unforgettable. This view is insane and so scary, honestly. My plan for the next day was to head south again, which meant retracing part of Sognefjellet. By evening, I was searching for a wild camping spot. Up here with few trees, it was easier to find open ground, though the isolation at this altitude was unsettling. But I wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone and still camp at this altitude. So I turned into a small gravel track and found a quiet lake where other camper vans also stopped for the night. This gave me comfort. I wasn't entirely alone. So, just need to see where I'm gonna put up the tent. I pitched my tent in the cold tundra, surrounded by snow, but warmed by the glow of the evening sun. Sitting there with this vast mountain landscape all around me, I felt deeply grateful and content to simply be here on this ride, in this moment.
Good morning. My first time wild camping at 1,400 meters. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little cold last night and I did wake up during the night, but honestly it was fine. Like, yeah, I could feel on my face that it was cold. So, you know, yeah, now I'm gonna wake up and start my day. I have to say my tent is actually pretty warm, especially when the sun hits it. It gets kind of warm in there. And now when I'm out here in the wind, it's a lot colder. So luckily I brought gloves with me and a jacket, and I have like 2 layers under my jacket, 2 pants layers, 2 socks. But yeah, I'm good. So now I'm gonna pack up all my tent stuff.
After packing up and putting on some extra layers, I rode back out in the high barren tundra and descended once again towards Sognefjorden. From there, my route continued south into the winding roads of Aurlandsfjellet.
Landscape is crazy. It's just all rocks. Almost nothing green. Now we've turned and we can see the fjord in a completely different way. And the little town must be down there. What a beautiful little town. Look at all the houses on the hillside in all different colors. And down there must be the town center.
I stopped in the little town of Aurland for a break. At a small cafe, I treated myself to my first Norwegian cinnamon bun. The day had turned warm and bright, a true summer's day, and I spent it exploring. I wandered through the nearby villages of Flom and Undredal, their colorful houses tucked between steep mountains and deep fjords.
So now we are in a very little village of Undredal, and I hope I can park somewhere by the water.
Eventually, the heat pushed me to cool off, so I found a stream and threw myself into its icy glacial water. By evening, I realized something had changed in me. I felt almost addicted to sleeping out in the wilderness. So once again, I searched for a wild camping spot, this time in Vikafjellet. I found a place where cows grazed lazily nearby. After setting up camp, I took a short hike to a nearby mountain, overlooking my tent and feeling completely at home in this wild place.
I took a small hike up the mountain, and the cows are standing up now, and one of them's coming really close to the camper van. I don't know if you can see, but I'm keeping an eye on my bike from here. I can see it. It's really tiny though. But yeah, these days in Norway are going by so quickly. It feels like I'm doing so much and it feels like I've been here forever, but at the same time, time goes by so quick. Like packing up, driving somewhere, eating lunch, driving somewhere else, and then packing up all my stuff again. It's kind of the same thing over and over every day, but seeing new places. This is always the most intense part of the day, going from completely black to bright. Okay, ready. Good morning. I'm the first one awake, that's for sure. It's 6:20 in the morning.
I had been debating if I wanted to see another famous road that was down by Stavanger. The pass looked spectacular, but it was a long way there. In the end, I decided I couldn't leave Norway without seeing it. And so this day I was in for a long drive.
Right in the middle of the road. Aww.
This was the first day of my trip where the weather felt uneasy. Darker clouds filled the sky and it felt like rain was coming. Still, I didn't want to rush. I wanted to explore. But not long after I started driving, the sky opened up. The pouring rain soaked me, but I was determined to push through as I saw clearer skies ahead. The rain didn't last long, barely an hour, so I continued on the coastal roads of Hardanger Fjord, but this wouldn't be the last time it rained today. I rode through a beautiful little town called Voss and continued south. The fjord stretching out on my left and the mountains rising on my right. Thick clouds filled the sky, wrapping the landscape in a mysterious and majestic way. After crossing Hardanger Fjord, I stopped for lunch with an incredible view where the mountains stretched far in the distance.
I honestly think this is one of my favorite roads so far. It's like it has the perfect turns, just like these ones, all the way. So nice.
This was an ideal motorcycle road, and it became one of my favorites. Its curves and bends flowed perfectly, winding past apple and cherry tree plantations.
Here are all the cherry trees. Wow, a lot of cherry trees as well. This is crazy. It's like a farm, cherry farm.
I passed countless waterfalls, tall, thin ribbons, and powerful cascades thundering down the cliffs.
Wow. Oh, so nice.
I was simply enjoying this day, immersed in the rhythm of the road and the raw beauty of Norway. Later that afternoon, I noticed the landscape began to change. More rocks filled the ground, and the land felt rougher and wilder. I decided to drive as far south as I could to catch the ferry to Lysebotn the next morning, and I found a campsite close to the ferry, which I reached by driving a road over a misty mountain that was covered in trees and scattered boulders, a completely different atmosphere from the landscape I'd seen the days before.
So just arrived at the camping place, and I think it's like a family-owned camping, because I had to call a number on the door and now they're coming down from their own house and there's like no one else here. It's just me in one camper van. So yeah, this will be interesting. I saw they had like a room where there's like a fire pit. I mean, if it starts raining I can go in there, so that's nice. There are an insane amount of flies here, so I'm gonna move the tent a bit closer to my bike. Can you see them? Like, it's insane. I think they live in the grass. So when I step in the grass, they move and they fly up. But now my tent's here. I look like this because I can't look like this. There's so many bugs outside, like flies. Ugh, like millions. So, but yeah, it started pouring rain. So luckily I had the shed and I put all my stuff inside here. So yeah, this is like a test. Let's see if my tent can handle the rain. But this also makes me kind of realize how lucky I am with the weather, because this is the first day it's rained. And if it would have rained every day, I would have been miserable. So I'm very, very grateful for that. I think it's just gonna be one of those days. No, maybe I'm just thinking I should drive back. I'm gonna do Lysebotn, like there's no question, because I drove all the way here for it. But now I'm like, maybe I should just drive back to Oslo today. After that, if I make it on the ferry. If I don't make it on the ferry, it's just one of those days.
To say the least, I had a bit of anxiety this morning. Not only was my tank basically empty without a gas station in sight for hours, but I wasn't even sure that I would make it on the ferry, as I was supposed to book it in advance. So I took my chances and drove down to the ferry anyways to see if there was space for me. Made it! Oh my god, I'm so happy. None of the cars made it on. Ska jag hela vägen in? Ska jag in där?
Du kan gå här.
Okej.
Du må passa på.
Ja.
Bilen, det är din ansvar.
Okay. I'm not going closer to that car. That's too scary. I was grateful to have made it on, being one step closer to the finish line of this journey. I spent the 2-hour boat ride just enjoying the views. Be careful with your expensive cars. I can't believe I'm stuck behind this. All right. So let's go to the top of this mountain. We're we're driving through a tunnel first, and then we'll get there, I guess. So driving up the mountain now. Back and forth, back and forth. I think it's about 40 to the gas station. So it's a little stressful, but I think I will make it. I saw a motorcycle parking somewhere. The climb was incredibly steep, and to be honest, I couldn't really tell what the road looked like from above while driving it, but the view from the sky was incredible. I enjoyed a quick lunch, and I was soon on my way again. It's just as far as you can see, it's just all rocks. It's crazy how much the landscape changes in Norway. Oh my god. Please say there's benzene. Yeah, there is. Oh my god. I'm not doing that again, that's for sure.
But now I'm happy because all my anxiety is gone. No bugs, no rain. The boat, I made it. And now I have gas in my tank. So now it's just smooth sailing.
It went from a sunny 30 degrees to raining. Oh, it actually feels really good. Honestly. Because it was really hot. But now, oh my god, it's really pouring. I think it's just temporary. Looks like it's just that cloud, and then blue skies are coming up. That's an old church. I spent the afternoon making my way back from the west of Norway towards Oslo. It was a long drive. I drove through rain showers and found the last camping spot for the trip, a small peaceful campground tucked deep in the forest, where the sun was setting through the trees over a small still lake, and the sky was filled with a beautiful sunset. So my bike is tucked in, and now it's just my turn for me to say goodnight. I can't believe this is the last night, and tomorrow I'll be heading home. I still have 2 days of riding though, one very long day, so it's not the end, but it is the last camping day. I don't know what to say. This is such a lovely place to end
this camping trip.
My last day in Norway was here, a surreal feeling. I felt ready to go home, but still not quite ready to leave this chapter behind. That morning, I packed up my bike one last time, picked wild blueberries and raspberries, and enjoyed my breakfast outside. I left the camping site early, but the Norwegian summer sun was already out. By midday, I reached Oslo. It felt almost foreign to be surrounded by city life again after days lost in nature. I spent a quiet morning at a small cafe, bought a few baked goods, and ended the evening at my friend's place, the same one who welcomed me on my very first night in Norway.
Good morning. My friend who I've been staying with has the most amazing cherry tree. They're just so nice, so I've been eating a few of those before I'm leaving. It's 6:30 in the morning, so yeah, I had to get up quite early. So yeah, now I'll just be heading back to Sweden. Feels very good and sad at the same time. I'm gonna miss Norway and riding here, but it'll be nice to come home as well, of course. Yeah. So I'm gonna eat a few more of these, and then we'll be on our way.
It was time for the final stretch, 600 kilometers back to the south of Sweden. Crossing that same bridge I drove over just 12 days earlier felt unreal. More than 4,000 kilometers behind me, but it felt like so much more than distance. This wasn't just a trip through Norway. It was a journey through myself, exploring, leaving my comfort zone, and overcoming challenges. From endless roads to silent fjords, wild campsites to mountain peaks, I found pieces of who I am scattered along the way. Sometimes you have to ride far from home to truly find your way back.
Good morning. I look like this because I can't look like this. It's okay, I can do it. I can do it. I just tell myself I can do it. And I need to recover from that road, honestly. Insane. I think they live in the grass. Sorry. I mean, just look at the reflection of the clouds in the water. It looks so cool. Like, this is the path. This is the biggest hack. Having slippers just ready to use.